Yo, 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 welcome back to the Out the Box Show. I'm John Wallace alongside my co-host James Luffy, and this show is chock full of LSU sports content. We're going to hit everything. We're pulling out all the stops. It is a special time of year. There's nothing like it on this earth. LSU baseball gets the big series win against the Arkansas Razorbacks after a little bit shaky of a first game Friday. Doesn't matter. Got the jitters out, came out, won the doubleheader on Saturday. Tennessee is coming to town this weekend. We were just talking about maybe trying to get some tickets going Thursday, maybe get out there early on in the series, cheer on, even though they don't, Skeens doesn't need it because he's going to light them up, do his typical, I would say Friday night routine, but it is a Thursday night game. The first game of the series, he's going to do his typical 6 innings, 100 pitches, 12 strikeouts kind of deal. Not so much worried about that. And then the rest of the crew is going to take care of business. We're going to break that down. The LSU women's team is in the Final Four,
baby.
It is insane. I think I saw a tweet today that it's been 700 days since Kim Mulkey took the reins as LSU women's head basketball coach. It's been absolutely awesome to watch them. I guess as they've journeyed throughout the year and to watch the March Madness ensue. MLB opening day on Thursday. Might do a little mini segment on that.
Yeah, Rory's not here, so we'll have to talk a little bit about the Mets for him. But yeah, and then we got a little golf segment. Sam Burns, David Toms, both took home titles this weekend. We'll talk a little bit more about that.
It's going to be an awesome show. I can't wait to get to it. Why don't we just go ahead and get to it, Luffy?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, actually, before we do that, I want to give a huge shout out to the Boot Crew Media Network, bootcrewmedia.com, and on social media at Boot Crew Media. Make sure to check them out. Fire articles, fire content, great podcasts. There's something there for everybody. bootcrewmedia.com. And just like the springtime is the best time of the year, Blaine Loop is the best realtor of the year. Blaine wants you to hit him up for real estate advice, whether you're buying, selling, finding somewhere to rent, finding renters for your investment property. He wants to help you out. Make sure to hit him up at 504-858-0031 for all your housing needs. All right. Kind of rolled through the intro of the show because I'm so ready and jacked to get to it. I think the most negative thing that we're going to talk about today is LSU's Friday night performance. Or actually Friday afternoon, they moved the game up because of the weather.
Yep.
The weather ended up not occurring.
And it was fine Sunday too.
I don't know if anybody noticed that. There was no bad weather. I know there was bad weather in other parts of the country, but I've never seen our meteorologists, to use a baseball term or a golf term, whiff like this. Maybe it's like that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where they say it's going to rain. And then that means nobody's going to be on the golf course.
And Jay ends up taking all the heat for moving the game.
Yeah,
people get pissed. People have been mad online about the games getting moved.
Well, Jay Grimes is the weatherman. So both Jays need to coordinate with each other, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like they're not on the same page. But Friday afternoon, noon, first pitch, it was a pitcher's battle until the 10th inning when all hell broke loose, not in our favor. Arkansas ended up scoring 8 runs, I believe, in the top of the 10th. And LSU tried to muster up a little comeback. Cruz, I believe, had a 2-run shot, but the game was pretty much over there. LSU did end up with one more hit on the day than Arkansas, but like I said, I think the main story from this game is the left-handed pitchers for Arkansas. That is the best pitching we're going to face in the SEC. That is that 1-2 punch of Hunter Holland and Hagen Smith. They ate us up. They had a combined 15 strikeouts.
And Arkansas went all out to win that game.
Sure.
Yeah. So when they brought Smith in, that you knew that it was kind of like this is their game to win. He knows it. Dave Van Horn knew it, so they were trying to get the win. And then I think your other point was going to be two base running errors that we made, just mental lapses and you can't do that if you're going to win these tight games in the SEC.
Yeah. And then I guess the third kind of goes along with the pitching. LSU's got to figure out the struggles that we're having against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, and Hunt Palmer's talked a lot about this. Struggle is maybe not the word because their average is still really pretty good. And they have struggled against lefties. I think that's just going to be a more common thing with college baseball. Your team's most likely going to hit right-handed pitching better. And they've struggled with high-level relievers, basically, is his breakdown, but they've also hit a lot of lefties. So that is something to keep an eye on, and a lot of LSU fans have brought up. So, but I don't think we're going to get shut down like that too often, basically, is what I'm saying.
Right. And like earlier on in this year, like the Texas game, that was just a pitcher's duel. You're going to have baseball games that are low score and you got to grind it out. I think the score is not indicative at all about how that game goes. Arkansas hit a grand slam in the 10th inning. I mean, it was just kind of like when it rains, it pours for LSU that day. Some other positive Skeens, like we said, he came in, pitched 105 pitches. I believe he hit 102 early in the game, miles an hour on a pitch. 12 strikeouts, only 3 walks. Shores came in and did well for a little while, and then got into a little bit of trouble. Christian Little comes in, kind of gets put in at a bad spot. Had a little bit of trouble trying to locate his pitches, gave up a couple walks, and that's kind of when things started going downhill. I do think Little will bounce back from that. Like I said, he wasn't put in the best position anyway. But on the other hand, that is the job of a closer, to get out of those late inning jams and get the job done. But there is room for improvement there. But I think that he will find his way in that regard. We also got to see Helmers. He came in, gave up a few runs. I went through 12 pitches, 1 walk. Brady Neal, it was exhilarating though when Brady Neal hit the home run to tie it in the 8th. It kind of felt like nobody was ever gonna break through. Like Tommy White, you could tell was getting frustrated. Our whole team was just striking out, getting
lefty on lefty bomb from Brady Neal from the freshman.
And did you notice how Hagen Smith, like whenever Brady Neal hit it, he just like pointed up and he thought it was a pop-up, and I was just like, okay, well, here we go. I guess we're going to the 9th. We'll see what happens. And then it just kept going and carried over the fence.
It was was it pretty windy? It was windy where I was. I was in Birmingham, and it was windy out there. So I know that some people said it was pretty windy in the box.
Yeah. I'm getting confused between all the games this past weekend. I was not able to make it out to the box. Had to take care of a couple things on Friday, but overall, I don't like, I guess the main takeaway is that the score is not really indicative of how the game went. And I think part of Jay Johnson's philosophy is that a game like this is a learning lesson for LSU. Like you said, Trey Morgan kind of hesitated on the pass ball. Got jammed up going to home, and Joe Bear got caught sleeping at first. So those are things that will work themselves out. I have every bit of faith in that. Moving on to Saturday, LSU played a doubleheader because they said the weather was going to be bad Sunday. I think it rained maybe 1 drop at my house, but we already talked about that. Comes out and run rules them 12-2, 16 hits. We did have 1 error. I didn't check to see who made that error or what happened, but whenever you score 16 runs, it doesn't matter. Arkansas jumped out to an early lead.
Yeah, Ty Floyd looked a little bit off early on and then was really able to settle down nicely and eat up and pitch well, really, through 6 1/3. Mm-hmm. And that allowed us with the run rule to save some pitching going into the Saturday night game, which was the 3rd game of the series. But a really nice job by Ty Floyd battling back.
Yeah, and I think Ty Floyd needed that as kind of a confidence boost. I think he kind of got roughed up a little bit against A&M, and he came in. Anytime your starter can go to the 6th inning, you're doing something right. And to add insult to injury to Arkansas, I mean, you hit 16 on them. So
Yep.
it really is crazy how the game of baseball works, considering how bad the score looked on Friday, and then LSU comes out Saturday, dominated both games. Another thing to note from the first game Saturday, Morgan, Cruz, and Thompson all had 3 hits. That is more the same from Dylan Cruz, but I think Thompson needed that as well. He had a good midweek and had a home run in the midweek game, so it was good for his confidence as well.
Yeah, he's kind of gotten back on track of recently, and yeah, I mean Dylan Cruz was insane this weekend. He was 10 for 16, 4 bombs, 9 RBIs, 9 runs scored. Pretty damn good.
Yeah. I got a stat that I kind of want to break down about Cruz, but I'm gonna do it after we talk about the third game. Another thing to mention, just last thing on the first Saturday game, Garrett Edwards comes in, pitched 2/3 of an inning, 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, and pitched again in the later game. So
correct. That's why I wanted to mention that. Sunday the game was at 6 p.m. We kind of did the whole staff approach. Hurd, Herring, Edwards, and Cooper. And just to kind of keep going on Edwards, 6 strikeouts in 4 innings. So I mean, we were, you, I, and McCain were talking about this before we started recording. Like, McCain said, who are LSU's best relievers at this point? My answer was Garrett Edwards and Nate Ackenhausen.
Yeah, well, pretty cool. Jay Johnson said in the fall he told him he was going to have to make the team, and then again in the spring he was going to have to make the team, and now he's saying, when can I get him in the game? Awesome story.
It's like the Chris Reed story when Maneri cut him, and then he's ends up pitch hitting and playing like a good bit his senior year.
Yeah. So I'm happy for him. Seems like a good dude, a grinder, a guy who really wants it, and he's becoming that guy you want in the game in a big spot.
Why did we not see Ackenhausen pitch this past weekend? Is he injured?
He said that I think they were resting him. That's what Jay said. That I don't know. They said that he felt soreness. So hopefully nothing serious. He did say that he would throw against Tennessee this weekend. And that's good news. It was not good to see Hurd struggle. That's something that I think that we talked about enough on the show that we would really like him to become that solid starter. And hopefully he can get some confidence back this weekend.
Yeah, and I don't think all is lost for him as being a starter on this team.
Yeah, it's about locating the pitches for him, really.
Yeah, I mean,
this stuff's clearly, D1 stuff, but it's we gotta start to see it here soon.
Yeah, I mean, he only pitched 2 1/3, had 3 strikeouts and 5 walks.
Yeah,
and that's that goes along with what you're saying. I mean, locating pitches is key, especially on Sundays. And your theory came true. For this wasn't really the Sunday game. It was the Sunday game. Well, technically this was the Saturday game, I think, because it was supposed to be at 6. But anyway, it was the third game of the series, and LSU scored 14 runs. Final line, 14 runs on 11 hits. Arkansas did have 9, but they were only able to get 5 across the plate. I think Arkansas, just like you said, threw everything at LSU in game 1. As soon as they put Hagan in, they knew that once he pitched 20, 30 pitches, they were like, we have to win this game now because we don't know what we're going to do for the next 2 games. A couple other notes, LSU's big inning potential is awesome. In this third game, they put up 6 runs in the 6th.
Tommy Tanks.
2 home runs.
It was a grand slam and a 3-run shot.
I know it was a 3. Yeah, I think it was a 3. I believe it was a 3.
Okay.
Beloso, our boy, had 3 hits. He was DHing. It's crazy like that his journey throughout his career at LSU. Like we were talking about it before this. His freshman year, he was one of our best hitters, and now he had a decision to make to come back this year and be a leader on this team, and he is contributing in ways that the past couple years where there's been the struggles, the injuries, it's been an up and down career for him, and it's been great to see him have success.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's almost like you thought it was a little bit of a feel good story early on in the year when they put him in and he hit that home run. I think it was his first at bat coming in, and like the whole team came out celebrating. You could kind of see it on everyone's face. But now he's inserted himself into this lineup, and he's a veteran hitter who's swinging the bat really well, and he had a good game again tonight in the midweek game. So hit another home run.
Three run dinger.
Yeah, and a couple hits. So Cade, happy for Cade, very happy for him. I think he's a guy that you're going to see consistently in the lineup, whether he starts all 3 games of the series, but I think he will be in there on the weekend.
I mean, can you think of a better guy? Just say you're in a late game, you're down 1 or 2 runs, and you're in Omaha, and you need a pinch hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, who else would you want? I mean, other than Chris Reed, the professional hitter, who else would you want? You know, I agree 100%. It's awesome to see Beloso finding success in different ways on this team than he ever would have thought his freshman year when he started first every game and was hitting very well. I guess we'll go ahead and talk about the midweek game. It's an absolute beatdown.
I'm checking the update right now. I think it's 15-4.
Yeah.
So 1 more inning, and then the 10-run rule will go into effect. They gave Christian Little the start to try to get him some confidence back. Another beatdown. They kind of kicked the ball around more than we hit it well. I know Jared Jones hit a bomb. Beloso hit a bomb. But, yeah.
Yes.
Anything else to add from it? I don't think we need to go.
Just, yeah, it's
we've been ruthless on the weekday games, which is a very good sign.
Well, this is unlike any team we've seen recently in the midweeks. Permission to make a bold statement.
Sure.
Bold prediction, bold statement. LSU's not going to lose a midweek game this year.
Go ahead. Let us know.
We're going to lose literally next
week. Who do we play?
Yeah, I looked at it earlier. I can't remember who to look it up real quick.
It's going to be like Tech or somebody good too.
Look it up real quick.
All right.
All right. So I got a couple stats that I want to kind of go through. I updated everyone on the team leaders in non-conference play before the Texas A&M series 2 weeks ago. Dylan Cruz, you would expect your average to go down whenever you start conference play because the SEC is the best conference in baseball and the talent level is higher. Dylan Cruz started SEC play with a .519 average, 28 hits, and 5 home runs. After 2 SEC series, LSU is 4-2 in the SEC. He's batting .531 with 46 runs, 43 hits, 26 walks, and 9 home runs.
Yeah.
So that's just something for reference to say, okay, how is he getting better with the better talent? It's almost like he didn't want to stoop down to the level of.
He doesn't have 9 home runs in SEC play, right?
No. That's
okay.
Total.
Yeah.
But a stat that really caught my eye is he has 26 walks.
Yeah. They're pitching around him a lot of the time.
I get that, but to be that disciplined of a hitter, they're not pitching around Tommy White and Dugas and Jones. I mean, the closest one to Cruz has 16.
Yeah, and I say they're pitching around him, but it's hard to pitch around them. They're pitching around him in spots because you have Tommy White coming up behind him, and he's dangerous. One swing of the bat, it's 2 runs instead of 1. So.
Dude, I kind of love this internal home run battle too. Like Tanks will go hit 2 home runs.
Bear Jones,
I mean, Jones and Dugas have 7, White have 8, and Cruz leads the team with 9. These stats, they might have changed, tonight in the Grambling game, but to have 4 different guys that are just battling each other. I mean, Cruz is the runaway favorite as far as runs on base percentage. He's reached base in every game this year. I believe he's gotten a hit in every game but 1. I believe 1 or 2. It's pretty incredible, and I hope people aren't like blinking while they're watching him play at LSU because there was a legitimate conversation we were having at work the other day. Like, I mean, he's the best player that I liked to watch and thought was going to have the best success in the MLB. It was Bregman, right? Cruz has never had a slump. Like, he's never dropped off. He's only gotten better. Bregman, I believe his sophomore year just was in a slump for a good bit of the season. So just to see that consistency from a guy and especially as good of a guy as he is. But
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Yeah.
I think, if we lose to Tennessee this weekend, what would we be?
Trash. You know who you need?
Who would we have to call?
We'd have to call Martine. We'd have to call Martine at Workbox. If you need a storage container, you need a portable office, you need luxury restroom rentals, you need roll-off dumpsters, call Martine at Workbox 225-343-4886. If you need storage containers, you need the cleanest porta potties in the business, you need portable offices, you need portable restroom rentals, you need roll-off dumpsters when you're redoing your home after you buy it from Blaine.
Mm-hmm.
Call Martine at Workbox. It's 225-343-4886.
All right. As we mentioned before, the Volunteers are coming to Baton Rouge this weekend. They're ranked number 11 right now. And I know there's some discrepancies sometimes whenever we record, and
there's a bunch of different sites. Yeah,
exactly. So that ranking might not be what you see on the TV on Thursday night or at the box. But
let's see. If I go to their Twitter page, it might give me all the rankings. If you want to talk about them a little more, John.
Well, I was just going to say that this series means a lot, not so much because Tennessee is good, like and Vitello is kind of the enemy and all that, but because of the coaching battle, right? Like Jay Johnson, I feel like has that extra chip on his shoulder. LSU fans kind of got upset about maybe Vitello coming to be the coach. Maybe he was not gaslighting us. Maybe he was leveraging his position with Staples, like the guy from The Office. Say what you want about Jay Johnson, but he would have never done that, nor would have Michael Scott have. But it's just exciting. A Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Those have grown on me so much in recent years. They're coming to town. The bad boys of college baseball. After everything surrounding them, the box is going to be bumping this weekend.
Yeah,
we're it's been a while since I've seen this. I've had this much trouble trying to find tickets going to these games at the box. I mean, it's we're talking about barely even having standing room only.
And shout out to the student section. They've been really good lately. They're back out there being loud, rowdy, proud of them. But to talk about Vitello for a second, I don't really have a problem with them for the whole hiring thing. That's what coaches and agents do.
Yeah, but then after that, when he stayed at Tennessee and they just acted like
he's a douchebag. That's the thing.
Right.
I'm not. Okay. I don't care that if another coach did that, it's like whatever. Like you could say the same thing about Bianco or somebody else like that.
Yeah, but Bianco is respectable.
No,
and carries himself with a little bit of class.
I get it. I bet I just didn't like him. I didn't like him before that.
Well, it just adds insult to injury that it's like whenever you want something real bad and somebody rips it away from you and then they're an a-hole about it. It's like why did I even want that guy in the first place?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so glad we got what we got. I think in the long run, it's going to work out a lot better for us. And that's just a testament to Scott Woodward kind of being the silent assassin in the coach hiring arena. But all that to say, Tennessee comes to the box 20-6 overall, 3-3 in conference play. I didn't even realize this.
Well, yeah.
They got swept by Missouri,
which dropped their ranking down a little bit. I think they're probably better than they're ranked.
Sure. But then they swept Texas A&M, who we just won the series, 2-1 against. I don't know if that means Texas A&M's not as good as some may have originally thought. I don't know if Tennessee just slipped up, but Tennessee slipped up their first series of the year. They lost to some nobody school. I can't remember exactly who it was, but they're not as good as they were last year, I don't think. But we'll find that out. I'm not saying that to jinx this coming weekend or anything, but I think you might be right. I think they might be, 5, 6, 7, 8th instead of 11th. But and then again, on the other hand, you get swept by Missouri, you deserve to fall a few spots. First pitch is Thursday night, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. As you're listening to this, their pitching staff, they're Friday, Saturday guys. So. Yeah. You look at Chase Dolander, Drew Beam, and Chase Burns.
Yeah.
Who is the Friday/Thursday night guy?
Is Dolander?
Is it Dolander?
I think so.
I was having a hard time looking at the stats. Like I said, I don't sit there and watch Tennessee because it like almost makes me mad watching it.
And you know what? College baseball has such a there's nowhere good to go check scores and stats, really. I mean, you have to go to like the team's website, right?
Yeah, and it's all like the same website. So I wonder if it's in like a database. Like, why couldn't they?
Like,
they
why
look
isn't
it
a
up?
good app or something? So it is very hard to keep up with other teams. I typically have to do it on Twitter, which sometimes takes a lot of scrolling. But hopefully Twitter will just tell me, you know.
But anyway, it doesn't really matter who starts Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The whole point is they got guys with good stuff. Drew Beam is pitching. He's got a 2.25 ERA. He's 3-1 on the year. Dolander, his ERA's kind of creeped up a little bit this year. He's teetering right below 4. He's 4-2 on the year, and then Burns is right above 4, and he's 2-1 on the year. So they definitely have taken a step back from last year, in my opinion. But what is my opinion worth? So
A hell of a gambling record.
Dude, if you just flip it, I'd be a millionaire.
John's a good gambler. Don't let him fool you. Take his picks if he gives them to you.
I'm good at like getting my juices flowing, only to be upset. Thursday 7 p.m., Friday 7 p.m. or 6 p.m., and then Saturday.
Wait, really?
1 p.m. What?
I don't know. I thought I must have looked at a different thing. I thought I saw 6:30, 7:30, 6:30. Maybe I had it messed up. All right. Anyway, quick football note while John looks this up. Jamar Cain. We lost Jamar Cain to Sean Payton.
How did we go in? How did we get into this?
He was our defensive line coach. The Broncos hired him. Kind of maybe starting to not like Sean Payton. But he was a good D-line coach. Hopefully we fill him with Bo Davis, former Tiger. Has coached a lot of different places. And also, Tigers are about to start getting some commitments here. Recruiting should pick up pretty soon here. And I think we're going to have a good class. I think we're going to have a really solid class. Everything, spring practice reports so far have said, like, the numbers look light. We don't really have that many players out there. We're down a lot of backs. We're down some defensive backs. We're down some offensive linemen. I think we only have like 5 or 6, maybe 6 scholarship guys. So we really need that freshman class, more of those guys to come in. Charles Turner's out right now. Marlon Martinez has been playing a little center. And I think that we're going to be pretty solid again, but we've got to get our numbers up for the fall. I think we're still a little thin in some spots and maybe not up to that championship caliber, but we're getting closer.
Okay, so that's why I was confused. So they, on Tennessee's website, they just listed their pitchers based on, like, it was sorting by who had the lowest ERA. So Dolander is their Friday night guy.
Yeah, that's what he usually is. I didn't know if they switched it, and that's why you were asking me that.
Dude, I don't know. I have so much.
So did you find the game times? I thought that's what you were looking up.
I wasn't looking that up at all, but I can. No, I'm looking at it right here. LSU Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and then, or no, not Eastern time. It's 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Don't listen to this.
6 p.m.
Just look it up on your own.
No, I mean,
just look it up on your own.
Well, dude, I hate when they put things in Eastern time. You got to
sit
there and do
agree.
A conversion in your head.
What are you looking
like? I'm
on,
some sort of mathematician. Well, this is Tennessee's website.
That's probably why they're in Eastern time.
Well, dude, okay. All right. If anyone's out there, app developer, we need an app developer to follow college baseball. You're right. There really is nothing.
It's very annoying.
Like, where do you get?
You can't get it on ESPN, but it's so bad. You could be like 10 innings behind.
Like, I feel like at some point, Mincy at Barstool is going to get them to put the baseball on the Score app.
Yeah. Do they not have it? I mean,
no, they don't. That's what's so mind blowing about it. But anyway, all that to say, we've seen Dolander's stuff. Burns looks like their Saturday guy, and they will come with the heat. They regardless of whether they hold staff or whatever, they will come with it. All right. Well, that was like the worst preview we could have given for Tennessee. The whole point of it, though, is to say
All right,
that
prediction.
I'm bold.
Yeah.
You like bold?
Yeah.
Sweet. I think
We can't both go sweep.
Skeens. I mean, I think more realistically, we just win the series 2-1. But
You gotta come on. You gotta stick with one or the other.
no, I'm going sweep. I'm
Okay.
just saying, like, if I wasn't such an LSU homer, then yeah, I would.
All right, I'll say 2-1.
Oh, breaking news! Final score 17-5.
Tigers.
LSU takes down the Tigers of
Great.
Grambling State. All right,
John, you want to talk about the house real quick and
I
how
do.
betting on house on Kim Mulkey is
You're playing with
free
house
money?
Yep. I was actually I was with Casey on
Was he
Friday
wearing
night.
his hat?
He was.
Good.
And we were wagering on some women's college basketball. We're going to get to it, but we were watching the end of the LSU Utah game on Friday night, and it was electric. Here's a hint: we won, and we won our subsequent game to make it to the Final Four. But the whole point of this ad read is to tell you to get on out to the house bar in Tigerland. It's almost April. Can you believe it's almost April? We're moving through the spring.
It is
Before
crazy.
you know it, we're going to be sitting on the beach, drinking pina coladas, listening to Kenny Chesney
in Omaha, Nebraska.
And then we're gonna head on up to. I'm not gonna say it. That's the O word. But all that to say, the house bar is springtime. Crawfish, beer, pizza, friends, Casey, all that you get in the springtime at the house bar in Tigerland. So make sure to hit them up on social media, on Twitter at Tigerland House, and on Facebook and Instagram at House in Tigerland. Also at houseintigerland.com. Fire merch.
Maybe and if you say, what is it, code JWall at the door, it's free cover?
Well, I don't think Casey or Jeff work the door, so probably none of the door guys would know. But you can try. You can definitely try.
Definitely try.
Nobody's going to
let us know if it works. Kim Mulkey.
So
her.
She's her.
Kim Mulkey, unbelievable. Second year to the Final Four. We have not really been playing that well, but the team plays so good defensively that an off shooting night and then the combination of her, Kim Mulkey, and Angel Reese and an off shooting night and a really bad shooting night, and we still win. You know, it's the balls apparently have been a little bouncy. They're too inflated. A lot of our guards have been talking about that. The shooting numbers have reflected it. So hopefully they get the balls right for the Final Four, because I really think we're going to have to shoot the lights out of it to beat UConn if we were to make the final. And we play Friday night.
Yes, we play Friday night at 6 p.m. against
6 p.m.
Vatech.
Yep, they were a 1 seed. They've only lost, I think, 2 games all year for 4 games all year. So they're a really good team. They're a 1 seed for a reason. I think they're beatable. I think we actually can beat them. And I'm saying we will beat them. And we're going to play South Carolina in the national championship, which
I had in my bracket. I had that in my women's
Tigers
bracket.
versus.
Not that difficult.
You had Tigers versus.
I did.
Nice.
And I have LSU winning it all because Kim Mulkey's that awesome. But you know, to kind of go back to what you were saying about the combination of things that go wrong. I think LSU's best chance to win this, right, is Angel Reese has to stay out of foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of
no doubt
that happened.
You're saying win the Natty or just this?
Just any, just to move on. That's kind of what happened in the Utah game. It kind of started slipping away. The girl from Utah went up, airballed a free throw. The whole bar went nuts when that happened. Then she missed her subsequent one. LSU Miami, that game was kind of close for about the first quarter maybe, and then I believe LSU was up 8 or 10 at half. Final score was 54-42. I do know one thing. I did watch the Iowa game after that, and Iowa scored like 100 points.
Yeah, they were. I'm glad Iowa's not playing us this week.
Yeah, I mean,
Even though they're on the
gonna
other
have to
side,
score
but still.
more than 54 and 66 to compete with these
Yeah,
teams.
no doubt.
I do think we can beat Virginia Tech. However, it is going to be a tall task and a tall order to beat. Just say, for example, we beat Virginia Tech. It's going to be a tall order to beat.
Alexis Morris would have to go like 8 for 10 for 3, like Steph Curry mode.
Yeah. I mean, everything has to go right. Like the shots just have to fall. If we were to play Iowa, Caitlin Clark is a beast. Like she's
actually, you know what? I'm not worried about Iowa. I'm only worried about South Carolina.
I'm worried about either because we could end up playing either of them. I do think it's more likely that if we were to win, which we're just getting into hypotheticals here, and
we are winning the first game.
Okay, well then
I'm gonna bet it right now. That's my house always wins pick too. A little extra for you.
Okay, well, fair enough. All right. I want to give a shout out to the DraftKings Sportsbook. I cannot find the ad read, but if you enter promo code BOOT, bet just $5, get $200 if your team wins. It's promo code BOOT. Support the Boot Crew Media Network. Like, if you like to sports bet and you like Boot Crew Media, why not marry the two together and bet with promo code BOOT on DraftKings? It's so easy. You get on the app. You got to be over 21 plus. There are some restrictions that apply, but you got to read the show notes for the details because I don't know them. That's why they're in the show notes.
We're due. I just placed it LSU minus 130 to win the game.
That's crazy that we're favorites to
go to the Natty.
Like
crazy.
Year 2 for Coach Mulkey.
Made some cash this weekend, John.
You did?
Sam Burns did.
Yes.
The former Tiger won Dell match play. All the top 60 players in the world playing. Very, very hard tournament to win. He went 7-0. He won $3.5 million, John. Pretty good for a week, huh?
I might not ever make $3.5 million in my life.
Pretty good.
Pretty
good for the former Tiger.
Even with inflation.
He took down world number 1 Scotty Scheffler in the semifinal match, and he took down Cam Young, one of the best players in the world, in the final 6-5, which is an ass beating if you're not familiar with golf. In the final to win the Dell match play and $3.5 million.
Hey, I've been watching Full Swing.
There you go.
I know how things work.
No, I know you know how. I'm the audience, John.
David Toms, as well.
Yeah, David Toms won on the Champions Tour. He probably took in about 700,000, 600,000 for that win. Still doing it. One of the smoothest swings ever in golf. Former Tiger has given back to the school. Big LSU football fan. So shout out David Toms.
Yeah, and shout out Mark Bienvenu. He's not going to listen to this, and if he does, I will stand by this. I will buy him a beer. He's the one that told me to mention that, and he said he figured you would. But if you didn't, if you were slipping, if I caught you slipping to do it. No,
and I have actually one more thing. 3 Lady Tigers playing at Augusta in the Augusta Women's National Amateur. Ingrid, Latana Stone, who almost won it last year. Ingrid's finished tied for second once and tied for second the other. Only 1 shot back of the winner, and Latana Stone had the lead going into the final round last year. And then Carla I don't know how to say the last name. Not going to try to say it.
Try. I don't even know.
I need to look at it. It's like Tejito, I think. But she's also playing 3 Lady Tigers. That's a lot because there's not really that many girls that are playing it. But LSU women's golf, very good. 3 stars there.
Man, while we're rolling with miscellaneous segments, did we ever mention that Catholic High basketball won the state championship?
Oh, we did not.
They did. And Rory, I want to hear. I want to hear you say. I want to hear they.
And what a certain round?
I don't know. I just literally was scrolling Facebook and I saw that. We could look up the bracket, but I don't feel like it. I'm just so busy being a winner that I don't care who we beat. So I want to hear not an apology from Rory, but I want to hear a personal congratulations. Maybe the next time he comes on the podcast, we need to just make a note of that
Yeah,
he needs to congratulate me.
I agree.
And me specifically, not the guys that went out there and actually won it. All right. I think that about does it for our show. Thank you guys so much for listening, even though we are clowning around on this. Well, it's Wednesday for you, but Tuesday for us. Kind of weird how time travel works. But thank you guys so much for listening. This is the best time of year. LSU baseball is going to be nuts. The box is going to be rocking this weekend. Make sure to get out there. We're going to try to be out there if we can find tickets. But you guys are the reason we do this. Hopefully, we're looking at dates for a tailgate and the bracket challenge. Rory texted us. He said he just wanted everybody to know that he's winning the bracket challenge. But I told him, I said, you're already getting a shirt, buddy. So whoever comes in second, if he ends up winning, is going to get the shirt and the hat. Shout out to the House Bar and Tigerland Workbox LLC.
Did you order
with Keller
shirts?
Williams Realty? I did not. Who also wants you to know that Keller Williams is an equal opportunity housing partner. Each office is independently owned and operated. The Buckaroo Media Network and DraftKings. The reason I haven't ordered them yet is that we're ordering the shirt custom for whoever wins. So
That's right.
So we didn't want to just like we said this last week. We're not t-shirt cannons.
Maybe a couple mediums.
We don't just throw out shirts, and that's not how we.
Couple
roll.
smalls.
We're custom.
Maybe one small.
We're not off the rack.
2 larges, 3 larges, 3 mediums, couple XLs, double X.
Hey, supply and demand. If anybody, a guy with an MBA, I thought you would know more about that. But I got this under control. I got everything under control. All right. Opening day tomorrow, Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
The Stros running it back.
You calling it?
Running it back, baby. Although it is kind of unfortunate how the World Baseball Classic claimed Jose Altuve for the first couple months of the season. But he'll be back. He'll be better than ever. I am a little upset that Yuli left the team.
They're a deep team, John. They got a really great farm system. They'll be good.
I know. And it's a long season, but I'm ready for the Stros to run it back.
I got a bold prediction. The Mets.
Do we have the same prediction?
Will not make the playoffs.
Win it all. They're going to win it all.
I thought you just said the Stros were winning it all.
I just said that so it would jinx them. But then I guess if you admit the jinx, I don't know if that negates.
I thought you were a Stros fan.
I am.
Okay.
I was trying to jinx the Mets.
Okay.
So the Stros could win it all. Stros will win it all. Calling it right now. You heard it first here.